You asked, now I answer. I gave the last video about a week because I wanted to give everyone enough time to ask questions, and that week's up, so let's fucking go. So I just went through earlier, I screenshotted all the comments with questions in them that I saw in no particular order, so we're just going to go in the order that I have them saved on my computer, and the first one actually has 12 different questions in it, so we're starting off with a bang. And one is, how's your day going? Pretty good. It's currently 1 in the morning, so it technically just started, but uh, before that, it was going pretty good. I didn't do a whole lot today, but I had some fun playing video games, and that's really all you need. Question 2 is, which anime or manga fandom, in your opinion, is the most toxic? If I had to give a real, genuine answer, it would probably be ReZero, and this is just obviously anecdotal, my own experience, but ReZero was the fans of ReZero were literally so toxic that when I made a video about ReZero, YouTube went in and was doing some crazy shit in the comments to censor them, and the comments of that video to this day are still all messed up and weird. It was actually so odd, and so many comments were getting deleted from that comment section that I thought that I was blacklisted from YouTube itself. So I'm gonna probably just say ReZero, but Jujutsu Kaisen, Black Clover. I feel that new age anime really genuinely is a lot more toxic. I don't know, maybe it's because Twitter exists now and it didn't back in the day when like Cowboy Bebop came out, but new anime seem to for some reason have much more annoying fans. Number 3 is, how do you feel about Crunchyroll merging with Funimation? Will you be making a video on it? How I feel about it is pretty good. I kind of like it, but I actually didn't think it was had gone through, or like I thought it was being held because there was something about like the US government saying that it violated monopoly rules and it couldn't go through. Um, and as for will I make a video on it? Maybe. I've thought about it a couple times, but I've never made one. But I might in the future. It is a topic I'm kind of interested in. I just at the last time I checked in on the situation, nothing was really happening. It was all weird legal shit going back and forth. So maybe I'll look into it again, and if there's anything worth talking about, I will. Question 4. What 3 anime do you think should be erased from existence other than the ones you've made videos on? Um, if I'm being completely honest, I don't think that any anime should be erased from existence because I think even garbage series that are have no artistic value can it be at the very least used as like a learning aid. And so you can look at something like Black Clover and say, okay, this is just the anime equivalent of vomiting in a trash can, but we can learn from this and we can do better. So in all honesty, like my genuine answer is I don't think any anime should be erased from existence. But if I had to pick 3, I think I would pick um One Piece because it would be funny, not because I have anything against it. I would definitely pick Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and um I don't know. For the third one, I think I would just go with something completely random that I like just think doesn't need to exist, uh like Boruto. I don't think Boruto needs to exist, so maybe we can erase it. Who cares? Question 5, what character traits are a turnoff for you? And I'm assuming that you mean like not sexual. That's the basis of which I'm going. Because, anyway, we're not even going to get into it. Character traits that are a turnoff to me are really idealistic characters that are idealistic against like all logic. So people who have this insane like I will never kill anyone for for any reason. Like no reason is enough to make me kill someone. And it's like, okay, that's just stupid. Like if you killing this person would prevent them killing like a million other people, then you should just do it. So I think characters being overly idealistic, and on top of that, characters just being like purposefully stupid, not necessarily the character doing it on purpose, but writing to just make characters be constantly doing stupid things. I just can't stand. And I'm from the West, so the whole tsundere thing has just never made any sense to me. Number 6, Oh my god, I just read number 7 and I'm really excited about that one. Number 6, would you feel ecstatic if Black Clover actually got canceled like people have been saying? No, I wouldn't feel ecstatic is definitely not the right word. I would feel satisfied. I would feel like, okay, this was a good thing, and maybe people are sad right now, but I think in the long run it would be beneficial. I don't necessarily want, like, I literally think about Black Clover so little that I don't care. It would not matter to me, but I would be, I think the right word would be hopeful. I would be hopeful if Black Clover got canceled that something better might be born of it. And number 7, do you think a bad ending, example, Attack on Titan or Game of Thrones, can retroactively ruin a story? Abso-fucking-lutely I do. I have had a video that I've been working on, and I guess I don't really care. I'll talk about it. I've been working on a video about this, about how bad endings and bad sequels can actually completely ruin things. And the reason for that is, I'll use the Game of Thrones example. I, like many people, was a fan of Game of Thrones. I enjoyed the show, but season 8, especially, and season 7 were kind of trash garbage. And the thing I hate is the argument of people saying, well, just go back and watch the show, the parts that you like. And it's like, why would I go back and watch season 1 of Game of Thrones when I know where it's going to end up? Or like Star Wars is a good example. I don't really like Star Wars. I'm not a fan of Star Wars. I do dislike Star Wars, specifically because I think the modern trilogy that just got made a few years ago is like literally some of the worst filmmaking ever done. And it's like, how can I go back and enjoy Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy when I know he's just going to become a grumpy, stupid old man? It negates everything good that's come before it if you have a bad sequel or a bad ending. Okay, question number 8. What is your opinion on Marvel movies or superhero movies in general? Um, I, like many people, am suffering from very extreme post Endgame Marvel burnout. I really am interested in almost nothing Marvel's doing at this point. The last Marvel thing I watched was Black Widow, and it was awful. I hated it. I think it was objectively terrible. But I have a pretty positive view on it. I think comic books are really cool, and I think it's cool that, when I was younger, I had comic book movies like the original Spider-Man. Well, I guess, was it the original live action Spider? I don't know. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man that was a lot more cartoony, and people weren't taking it as seriously. But it's nice to see that people are putting a lot of effort into making serious comic book movies and putting a lot of money behind it. I think that's cool. I really like a lot of Marvel movies, but I don't give a shit about any Marvel movie coming out in the next like 5 years. Number 9, do you think there? Wow, I just realized we're almost at 10 minutes from one comment. Number 9, do you think there's objectivity when it comes to art? Phrases like Berserk's art is objectively the best are tossed around a lot in the community. Do you think it is the right way of going about things? I do definitely believe that there is objectivity in art. However, I believe that when you take it to the extremes of saying that this is objectively the best thing or objectively the worst, that's when you get into sort of murky territory, because I cannot like something, but I can say, okay, this doesn't work for me, right? I'm eating this food and I don't like the way it tastes, but I can say objectively, this is a well made dish, just made of things I don't like. And the opposite of that is I can be eating something and say, like, this is objectively terrible food, but my goat brain is just going in on it. I love it. So I think there is relative objectivity, but to say that something is absolutely the best or absolutely the worst is a lot harder, and I don't typically think that there's any value in doing that. Why do I think humor in anime is so bad? Um, I used to, when I first got into anime and Japanese things, the humor didn't really work for me back then. Some stuff did, but a lot of it didn't. And at the time, I just chalked it up to, well, it's from Japan. I'm from somewhere very, very different than Japan, so there's a clash there. But upon spending years and years watching anime, I think the problem is Japanese people just don't seem to care about humor at all. Like, in the West, we have people who, like, their entire job is coming up with ways to change humor and come up with new ways to make people laugh. And in Japan, it just seems like the jokes are very simplistic. At least jokes in all the media I've seen, they're very simplistic and they don't ever change. The same jokes are being made in anime now than when I started watching anime 10 plus years ago. So I think even if you liked the jokes at first, if you're a Westerner and you're used to jokes and things changing and humor evolving, you're going to want to die by the time that you've spent 10 years watching anime. I mean, there's only so many times you can see some idiot fall into a pair of titties and then get punched in the face and be like, oh shit, that was funny. Favorite films? I'm genuinely not much of like a, I do like movies a lot, but I'm very much on the not pretentious side. All I ask of a movie is to be entertaining and not so badly written that it's actively confusing to me. I can't stand movies like The Lighthouse is a good example of a movie that everyone was sucking its dick. I can't stand movies like that, but I don't really know my favorite films. I can tell you one that for some reason when I think of my favorite movie, Blade 2 comes to my head. So maybe Blade 2. I also really like the movie Constantine. I really like the movie Sucker Punch. I like Color Out of Space. I really like Mandy. Um, I so there's a few that I really really enjoy. Favorite Western TV shows, live action and animation. Um, I I don't have many. I will say, according to Jim, is my there you go. There's my favorite TV show. I watched it all the time when I was a kid. I've met Jim Belushi in real life. I even smoked weed with him. So there you go. I don't ever watch TV. I'll be honest. I've watched a few shows like Game of Thrones. I've seen like Breaking Bad. I tried to get into Westworld, but TV in general doesn't really work for me. My favorite animated series would be Generator Rex. So there you go. According to Jim, is a sitcom, and then Generator Rex is an animated TV show. Okay, it only took us over 10 minutes to get through the first comment, so let's go. When is oh, this is our next I guess I should say who's leaving the comments, even though you can see it on screen. This is Socks. And well, I guess we'll just rapid fire through these. When is Pizza Tier List Part 2? When I try enough new types of frozen pizza to make a new tier list. Will there be a Pizza Tier List Part 2? When I try enough frozen pizza. I'll be honest, I don't really eat pizza, frozen or otherwise anymore. But if I start again and I will make another one. Do I plan on reviewing any other frozen foods? Again, I'm not really eating frozen foods these days. Like, not frozen, like I eat like frozen like fruit. I put them in smoothies, but probably not frozen food, possibly fast food. I've thought about doing a fast food tier list with one of my friends for a while. Who's my favorite regular show character? If I'm remembering correctly, um, regular show is Mordecai and Rigby, and so my favorite character is Benson. All right, that was a quick one. Next one is Hobbler Gobbling 8. What is your favorite book/book series? My favorite single book, I honestly don't know. I'm really bad when like I don't ever think of things in absolutes like, oh, this is my favorite. But my favorite book series is a series called Skullduggery Pleasant. It's from an Irish author. So if you're into reading, give it a shot. I own I'm kind of obsessed with it actually. I've read and reread it probably 60 times, and I own every single different edition of it that was ever made. I own all the extra media of it. I'm a really big fan of Skullduggery Pleasant. I would very much like to see a well-made like series from it. Do I like roller coasters? Yeah, I think they're pretty fun. I liked when I went to the first time I went to California Adventure. I got to go on like a loop-de-loop. I thought that was really fun. I haven't been on a roller coaster in probably like 7 years, but they're pretty so. Actually, no, it's not true. I went on a roller coaster recently in Las Vegas, and that was pretty fun. It went in and out of a freaking building, so I liked that. Favorite animal? Without a doubt, the hummingbird is my favorite animal. Favorite cartoon, either from childhood or whenever. Um, I think it would be Generator Rex. Like I said in a previous comment, I wasn't allowed to watch many cartoons when I was a kid, and so I have very fond memories of Generator Rex and sneaking watching it when my mom wasn't home or whatever. What are my opinions on Invincible? I have not seen it, and to be quite frank with you, I don't think I ever will. Um, have I watched Scissor 7? No. I'm going to Google it really quick. Yeah, no, Scissor 7, that's the first time I've heard of it. It actually looks kind of interesting, so I might add it to my. I think it's on Netflix, so I might add it to my list. How's the hand? You know, it still has like weird chronic pain in it, but it's pretty good, I would say. I mean, it's a lot better than it was. All right, it's Gaming King's comment. An absolute king. He lives up to his name. I'm a big fan of Gaming King. His question is, what manga and video games would you recommend to me? I'm kind of looking for stuff that isn't relatively known but is really good. I'm also quite curious to find out what your favorite manga is, but I'm not sure if I can ask more than one question. Dude, you can ask as many as you want. What mangas and video games would you recommend to me? You know, that's a little bit of a tough question because, like, video games, there's like a million different ones. If you play on like PC, I really like RuneScape. I think RuneScape's pretty fun. I play Counter-Strike. Those are a couple games I like. If you're a console player, I just recently replayed through Bloodborne. I recently finished, I would highly recommend Bloodborne. I finished Resident Evil 8 not too long ago. I did not like that very much. And then there's like, Dragon Ball Fighters. Like, I don't know if you like fighting games, but if you do, it's pretty good. If you're looking for a game, again, this is only if you have a computer, and specifically it's on Steam, but if you're looking for a game that isn't well known, there's a series of games called Ubermosh that I think I've had very many hours of a lot of fun in. They're like $1 each. I own all of them. I bought the Ubermosh soundtrack. I'm a big fan, so if you want to check out a genuinely relatively unknown game, check out Ubermosh. And my favorite manga of all time, I'm not sure if I'm sure I've had to have said it in a video before. I haven't made a dedicated video about it, but it is a manga called Hell's Paradise, and that is also the one that I would recommend to you most strongly. I think it's picked up a little bit. There's a little bit of a following for it now, but it is criminally underrated. I think it is some of the best manga artwork and writing that has ever been done. I absolutely love when series are able to pull off the whole questioning whether or not reality is as we perceive it thing. And without spoiling anything, I would just say that Hell's Paradise is a hauntingly beautiful and absolutely brutal manga. Your top five, oh, this is from R AFK, AFKEY. Your top five underrated manga or anime. I don't have a set list, but when it comes to anime, I think Drifters, I genuinely, I am disappointed by all anime fans that Drifters isn't constantly talked about. Drifters is so fucking good. Gangsta, it's my favorite anime of all time, and I think it is highly underrated. Toriko is underrated. Sure, it's garbage, but it's a lot of fun to watch. I love Toriko. I'm about to rewatch it with one of my friends. Hell's Paradise is super, super underrated. And then one that I have never really talked about is Fight Class 3. If you are into fighting and watching people get beat up and get hurt in very brutal ways, Fight Class, go read it. Dreams of Memes would like to know, do you like games? If so, what are your favorites? I'll be honest, I don't really like video games that much anymore compared to a few years back when I really loved them. But my favorites of all time, definitely Bloodborne is up there. I really like Bloodborne. Mortal Kombat 10 was a big one. I've played a lot of Counter-Strike, put thousands of hours into Counter-Strike, League of Legends. I loved Fortnite when it first came out. For like the first year, Fortnite, it was just truly a godly gaming experience. And then you've got games like Ratchet and Clank. The new Ratchet and Clank is absolutely fantastic. I love Ratchet and Clank games. Jack and Dexter was fun. Project Snowblind is one of my favorite PS2 games. Ubermosh, like I talked about before, is one that I really enjoy. Bloodborne, I would hesitantly. I'm. I've come to really like Bloodborne more and more as I've played it, and there you go. There are some of my favorite games. Oh, Warframe. Warframe deserves an honorable mention, and Team Fortress 2. I don't play them anymore, but I've sunk many, many, many hours into them. Okay, Adrian, you want to know why haven't you started One Piece? Are you scared of the awesome journey? LMAO, most Annie YouTuber talk shit about it, and when they see One Piece, they're blown away. Um, I, I don't, I don't really know. I haven't started One Piece mainly because I just don't like the art of One Piece, and um, every time I've seen clips of One Piece or I've watched like a chunk of an episode here and there, I don't care. The problem is like if One Piece was 100 episodes, I probably would have watched it by now, but it would take a lot to get me to watch 1,000 episodes of anything. So I don't know. I haven't started One Piece because I just don't have enough interest in it to justify that amount of time. How old am I? What are you, a cop? What are you, narcoleptic? What are you, a narcotics officer? Um, I'm 24. I am 24 years of age currently. Okay, final question. It took us a long time to get here. Good lord. Final question. Future Hendrix face reveal, and I'm assuming you mean like when/if will a face reveal happen? And no, I was gonna give this just like a meme troll answer and say like I'll do a face reveal when I get 10,000, 100 million subscribers, but I will give you a legitimate, honest answer. The reason why I don't do any face stuff is there's two main reasons, and the first and by far the biggest and most important reason is I don't feel that just adding my stupid face onto my videos would make them in any way better. In fact, I think it might make them worse. I don't think, me just staring at a camera, my eyes wide open and red, I don't think that would add much. And if anything, I think it would take away from people's enjoyment because I want you, at the end of the day, I want you to be able to imagine me in your head however you want. I want, if you want to imagine me, if you hate me and so you want to imagine me as like this little troll on the internet, this ugly little being who doesn't deserve to live, I want you to have that. And if you watch my videos to gain some kind of enjoyment or comfort, and imagining me a certain way gives you more of that enjoyment or comfort, then I want you to have that as well. So, I just don't think it adds anything, and I think it takes away a certain magic. And then the other real reason is, um, without getting into too many specifics, my previous line of work, there were cameras everywhere, all the time, always on camera, cameras everywhere, camera, pictures, videos constantly. And I really started to hate it. And I started to develop this weird thing about cameras to the point where my previous phone, I had like taken paint and like smeared it all over the front facing camera. And for a long time, I shouldn't say a long time, for a few years, I had this thing about cameras where I wouldn't even take pictures with my family. I didn't like it. And I was still dealing with a little bit of that residual stupidity of mine when I started doing YouTube. So there was no way in hell I was doing face cam stuff when I started doing YouTube. And at this point, I've just been doing it for so long that, again, I just don't feel like it adds anything, and I feel like it might take away a little bit. So there you go. There's 20 plus minutes of questions answered. I think I answered about 6 total questions because I'm just so efficient at talking. Thank you guys for the questions. Thank you guys. Just thank you guys for everything. I love you guys. I'm pretty excited about what's to come. I've got a lot of videos planned that I'm like very, very motivated for, and I think are going to turn out really well. But the downside of that is they're going to take a little bit more time than some other videos. So If you want to get in contact with me at any time, go ahead, click the link to join the Discord. I'm always online on Discord if I'm awake. And if you want to follow me on stream, I'm trying to go live a lot more. And so you can talk to me. You can ask me whatever you want in real time on my stream. Isn't that freaking wacky? Thank you guys for watching. Again, thanks for the questions. And I'll see you with another video very, very soon.